Всем привет, дорогие друзья. Нет, what are you saying? This video is supposed to be in English, not in Russian. Oh gosh. Hey y'all guys, what's up? In today's video, I want to talk to you about the difficulties of knowing many languages. Being a polyglot is not always something positive. It has also some disadvantages that I would like to discuss. In my own experience of knowing 13 languages, including my native tongue, being a multilingual has given me a lot of advantages, a lot of pros, but there are also some situations where knowing so many languages has given me some problems, has turned out to be a disadvantage in some way. And so if you're ready, we can start analyzing the situation of knowing many languages in a detailed way. You're ready? Let's start. So first of all, being a multilingual individual gives you a lot of perks. For example, in my own experience, I can think of improved communication skills, because the more languages you know, the better you become at communicating with people. And also it gives you a lot of cultural understanding. You get to know different cultures, you get to be more tolerant towards other cultures and people. I think you become more sociable because you want to practice, so you want to speak with people and the like. Plus, you can for sure learn other languages, pick up new languages very easily in a very fast way. And this is really positive when it comes to knowing many languages. Because, for example, if I want to start, let's say, Slovenian, it's gonna be easier than for a person who doesn't know any Slavic language. I know Bulgarian, Russian, and a bit of Ukrainian, and so learning Slovenian for me wouldn't be that hard. It would be quite like drinking a cup of tea. And of course, it also gives you a lot of career opportunities that are interesting. And so that's basically it. These are obvious advantages and they are really good, but there's more to it. But one of the most important problems, according to me, is the so-called language overload. That is, that sometimes knowing too many languages can become overwhelming, can be really hard for you to maintain all these languages, and also you find yourself very tired, mentally speaking, like your brain works very slowly, and you don't know the right words that you want to use in a specific context, because maybe there is some interference with multiple languages. And yeah, this is sometimes very hard to handle, and there must be a solution to this problem. There must be one, but I still haven't found it. So please, if you know a solution, let me know in the comments below. Connected to the problem of language overload, I can think of myself having a hard time learning new languages right now. I would like, for instance, to learn Turkish. I bought myself SMS course, but I'm really tired. I feel like I don't want to do it. I mean, like, a part of me wants to start it, but another part of me, like the more reasonable one, I say the more responsible one, says, hell no, you're not gonna nail it. You should stop here and focus on the languages that you already know, and don't lose your time learning a new one, because it's gonna cost you a lot of energy, a lot of mental energy, a lot of effort, and you just don't have the time and the energy for doing it. So please just stop it. Yeah, this happens quite often actually, and it's really sad, because when you're a polyglot, when you love languages, you want to learn them all, but it isn't simply possible to learn them all, because we are human beings, just like anybody else, just like everybody else. And so there's a limit to learning languages. Yeah, I gotta say it out loud. There's a limit. You can't learn every single language out there. This is sad, but it's the truth. Another critical thing that you might face when knowing a lot of languages is the problem of maintenance and the risk of forgetting languages. It's really hard actually to maintain 14 languages because over time languages that you don't use regularly become rusty, and so you have like to prepare your daily routine. You have like to project a routine where you can possibly practice as many languages as you can, like 4 or even 5 languages per day. And this is really hard sometimes, especially when you have a job and maybe you work 9 to 5 and then you get home and you just don't feel like practicing all these languages, but you have to because otherwise you're gonna get rusty and you don't want to lose them, of course. No, of course. You don't want to lose your proficiency that you have conquered over time, studying a lot. Getting to know a language inside out, and then it's just like a couple of days, well, no, maybe not a couple of days, but like a couple of months without using the language regularly, and your proficiency decreases and your level just worsens. This is sad, but it's a real problem the polyglots have to face. And in order to do that, you can do several things that I shall discuss with you later. Another thing that I think is somewhat critical for polyglots is the cognitive load, because juggling multiple languages in your memory, in your brains, is hard. And there's no shortcut to it, actually. You have to spend a lot of energy, a lot of mental energy in order to maintain all the languages, in order not to forget them, in order to improve them, practice them regularly. And so the juggling of all these languages is really hard work for your brains, and so chances are very high that you're gonna end up at the end of the day feeling very tired. And sometimes it just happens that you fall back to your native language when you are learning a new language, and you feel so tired that you don't want to speak it because words don't even come to your mind, and you say, okay, it's easier in my native tongue, and so you're gonna resort to it. And this is also another big risk that can make your language learning path very slower at least than you thought. Probably another big risk knowing a lot of languages is that of mixing, of blending multiple languages. This is somewhat frustrating, at least to me, because I don't really like when I'm speaking, say, German, and suddenly I use a German that and suddenly I use a word that belongs to another language. Well, it doesn't actually really happen with German, because German is one of the languages that I know quite well. But with languages like, for instance, Greek or Swedish or Persian, so the languages that I know the least, it happens quite often that I mix words, that I use words belonging to another language, and I actually don't realize it while using them. I just realize it after a while. And on one hand, this is very funny. On the other hand, this is frustrating, because I spend a lot of time learning these languages, and when I notice the interference, it just drives me crazy, actually. But there are even some people that find it really funny and don't pay attention to it. They just accept it because we are humans, and probably I should do the same. We're just humans, and so it's really normal, especially the more languages you know, to mix them, to blend them, and this is okay. So I should actually be less judging towards myself and accept this risk as part of the game. So that was basically all about the major problems that one encounters when speaking multiple languages. I would like, before ending my video, to give you some tips based on my experience on how you can face these problems, on how you can overcome these difficult situations. For instance, about the maintaining thing, I would say that the best way in order to maintain multiple languages is to use them in fun activities. For instance, you have, of course, your hobbies, your passions, and so you should use the languages while doing what you love, what you like. For instance, I like reading books, and I read a lot of books in the languages that I know. And this helps me a lot, maintaining them, practicing them, even without realizing that I'm studying. I mean, I'm just reading an Agatha Christie book, and I'm doing it in, I don't know, in Russian, and I'm just captured by the story, by the plot, and I don't even realize that I'm practicing Russian actually. And another thing is, like, for example, listening to music in the target language. This is also a very good thing. Singing to the lyrics as well. And what else? Watching movies, watching TV series. These are all stuffs that help you a lot. I was in Romania last week, and I wrote some hotel reviews on Google Maps in Romanian. So that was a way to practice the language even after coming back to Italy. So just take advantage of all these things, of all these situations, because even when you don't think about it, there's a chance, there's a possibility of practicing foreign language. You can also use language apps like Memorize. I always suggest it, and it's really good in order to find new friends and talk with strangers in their native language. And also another thing that I suggest is to keep track of what you learn. For example, buy yourself a notebook and jot down all the new words that you have learned on a day, and so you can repeat them after some days in order to see if you remember them. Also, another good thing that a lot of people don't do, and here I shall include myself actually, is to celebrate yourself for every single small success. This is really important. Actually, we tend to demand a lot from ourselves, but this is frustrating. So it's important to celebrate yourself for every single success. This way, your brains are gonna work better, and you're gonna feel more relieved, happier, satisfied, and you're gonna be more efficient. So just do it, celebrate yourself. So that was basically all. The video ends here. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you liked it. I hope you find the content interesting. Actually, we discussed a lot of things, a lot of struggles connected to knowing multiple languages. There are many problems, as you have seen, as you have listened. Like, for example, the problems of maintenance and the risk of forgetting languages, of becoming rusty, and so on. But we have all these problems just because we are humans, and so we have our own limits, and so it's pretty normal to face these problems. I hope that my tips to avoid these problems, or at least to reduce their side effects, will be useful. And I'm very looking forward to hearing your opinion on what I've told you. And also you can share with me your experience with language learning. Maybe you have some tips, some effective tips on how to avoid the problems that I have talked about. So it's going to be useful for me. It's going to be useful to me and to other language learners to share your experience with us. So if you have any questions, if you just want to leave your comment with your experience, please feel free to do it down here. And what else? Well, I think that despite all these problems, despite all the risks, I like being a multilingual person. And I think that this is one of the most things, of the most beautiful and most important things in my life. And so I'm really proud of it. I'm really proud of what I've done throughout all the years during my time as a teenager and as a young adult. And so I'm definitely gonna do more. I mean, I probably will stop. I don't know actually if I'm gonna learn new languages, but of course I'm gonna maintain the languages that I know, and I'm gonna improve them, and so on. So that was all. As I told you, leave a comment down here, hit the like button if you enjoyed my video, subscribe to my channel, and see you soon. Bye. Hey Dwarf, sis. Oh no, here we go again. See you.